All right, welcome back to the Jumpcast after a 2-week hiatus. You know, I don't even remember what episode we're on. I don't even remember what we're talking about anymore. Like some series
Thank
about
you.
some kid eating feet. What is he eating? No, just kidding. I clearly remember for free.
This is episode 28.
Episode 28. Thank you, Mr. Max. We have an amazing episode. Normally we only have JJK to talk about. We have 2 topics to talk about today.
Yes.
And one of them is both of them I should say are big deals. But one of them.
Yes.
This chapter is very good, but one of them is a lot bigger issue to me, personally. But yeah. Also, on the day we are recording this, it is Mother's Day. So if you haven't already, and you have the opportunity, go give your mom a hug, send her a text, let her know
Give her some flowers.
you appreciate her. That's why we're recording so late. Yeah.
Tell her that you love her before she dies, because it's soon. It's sooner than you think.
Oh my god.
Is that a threat?
A little bit of a gloomy start.
We gotta. Who let this moping Mo in the call?
You'll regret it. You'll regret it if you don't. You'll sit there while she's dying of some kind of cancer, and you'll think,
Oh my god.
where did I go wrong?
Oh my god.
All right.
Now she can't talk to you because she's in a comatose state. Anyway.
On that gloomy mood,
Oh my god.
on that mood, let's go back to something gloomier. K-manga, Kodansha. If our viewers have not heard, Kodansha has just released this week their own manga streaming app, and it's fucking disappointing.
Something to compete with Viz, yeah.
And there's no question it will never, unless they change, it will never compete with Viz.
What is it? So we'll go into the details of, so what is it? Most people, we hope, you're reading through Viz, which is the official translated way that we read like JJK and all the other things that go through Shonen Jump. So K-manga was trying to be a platform to compete with that, with Kodansha's forms of content, like recently with Blue Lock, Vinland Saga, they had Attack on Titan. So most people know if you go through Viz, you have a subscription service where you pay either $2 or $3.
Is there 2 different ones, or is it just?
Yeah, because what is it? This goes into like the whole platform battle where recently Viz introduced a third app onto app stores, which is Viz Manga, which has more up-to-date publishers. Like, what is it? It publishes more up-to-date chapters when it comes to other things like it has Junji Ito's works. It has like just things that you would see outside of Shonen Jump that could be published weekly. And it's really interesting because it came out literally the day before K-manga. It was like really like the 2 companies are trying to compete with each other. So like that's why Viz is just like, okay, we're making a third app, and that one is $2 a month. Shonen Jump is $3 a month. So you'd either pay that and you'd have like access to, I think, at least 100 chapters a day. I don't know how it is with the new platform, but on Shonen Jump that's how it usually works. Or it's like 100 chapters every 4 hours, which I know is really dumb and stupid, but that's like how many volumes? That's 10 volumes in a day.
Yeah.
Which, like, if you're really on that if you're really binging it, you'll use up that time. But I don't know. It depends on the person. So a lot of, at least me and Max Pruden, we were both estimating that it was going to be the same thing. Like, they were trying to make a competitive subscription service. They blew that entirely out of the window. That's not what they do. They make you pay per chapter. It's $1 per chapter.
Roughly. Well, it's a point system. You can get points by watching ads, by doing other random shit, but the easiest way, and if you want to read a lot, you have to purchase with your own money points. Yeah.
So my theory on why it's like that is that it could be based on, because I'm assuming that K-manga came out the same time that it did hopefully in Japan. I don't know if Japan has access to the app or not, but they may be going off of because like what is it? Different cultures do different forms of systems for like reading and watching this sort of stuff. So I think that they went off of that to try to compete in that old market. But over here, it's really dumb because we're so used to subscription services, and making us pay per chapter is like really annoying because one of the big things about the subscription service through Shonen Jump is that, hey, there is one thing that I want to read, but if I just pay this anyways, I get to look at so many other options.
Yes.
Like, say you love JJK, but then you see, oh yeah, Demon Slayer's on there, the anime's out. I'm actually gonna try to read ahead because I want to see what happens. I'm really excited. It's a way to like help boost you through, but it really doesn't apply the same.
Yeah.
With K-manga. With K-manga, it's like, okay, I want to read something on there. You're gonna have to pay $30 to read the entire thing. Good job. And then you're never gonna want to read anything else because like you guys just sucked my money for a digital copy when I could have bought this either online or at a bookstore.
Yeah, I know. My big thing was wanting to officially read Vinland Saga, and when I first did, I looked to see how much it is. It is upwards of like, to buy every chapter on there, almost $400, which I'm like, god damn. At that point, I'm collecting Vinland Saga physically, and I'm like, at that point, it's probably going to be, for the most part, cheaper right now to go out and buy. I guess they only do the deluxe ones in the US, but to buy all those bigger deluxe ones.
Yeah, like, well, at least you'll have it physically.
Yeah,
and,
I can.
It wouldn't go away. If like K-manga ever shut down, you wouldn't have access.
I didn't
to that
waste
anymore.
$400. Like,
yeah,
it's so fucking annoying. Yeah.
It's really bad. It's just a bad form of monetization. I think mostly what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so that they can put ads into the service while also they're doubling their income stream by one, having ads you have to watch in exchange for coins, I think, and then also having people pay once that they're frustrated that they can't get enough coins. So yeah. it's
like
this
Clash of
Clans.
Really,
yeah, it's this really just predatory system that people aren't going to want to use, and the few people who do are going to be wasting a lot of money on it. Because I can see like a few people actually buying the stuff on here, because of course somebody's going to try it out, and then the app is going to shut down, and then they're no longer going to have access to any of that, but it was temporary in the first place. So
yeah. It's just bad from the start. There's no winning on that. Like, maybe because, as I said, with like Clash of Clans, they were trying to go for that aspect too, which works here well in America because we have those sorts of games that you have to either like watch an ad or you have to wait in order to read something again or to play something again. But it doesn't apply well when you're trying to read something. It's like you buy a book digitally, but you're buying it chapter by chapter, and it's like, that's stupid. That's not how it works. You should have access to the full material.
Right.
And
the problem with
they
this,
could change it.
Yeah, I really hope they change it, because this is going to promote piracy even more. I mean, I understand that that's like a core part. It's a core part of media consumption in general, and especially consumption of Japanese media here in the States, just because, fan translations are one of the few ways that you can get the most up-to-date chapter releases if you're like really thirsting for it. But when systems like this are released, it pushes people towards piracy, because if you don't have easy access to it, I mean, there's no point. If it's going to be over $400 to read an entire series, people are going to stop reading. Like, it's understandable with like paper copies, because then you get to keep it. Like, I've already spent how much money have I? I've spent over something like $190 on collecting JJK. But I have all the physical copies. Like, they're all there sitting on my shelf. I can pick one up and reread it at any time.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing here, and it's because I read more than just JJK. Like, I'm looking at my shelf and I think, oh, I'm just remembering how much money I spent because I just saw my Vagabond collection. I've spent definitely over like $400 to buy stuff physically. Um, and the big thing that also helped promote me buying that physically and helping the company that produces it, Viz, is that I read it online first through the subscription and I thought, hey, this is so good, I want to collect it.
Hmm.
Like I have it for Fujimoto's works, like Look Back, I have it for Dan to Dan. Vagabond I had to read physically, but like that's fine. Like it sucks. And it's you brought up a really good point with the piracy thing. Like I don't know. It's just another win for Viz, which is like I like Viz a lot, but also it's you don't want a monopoly on a market. Like Viz currently dominates
especially
the
a
market.
market like the manga industry. It is gonna be very bad for them to have a monopoly on it, because then.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm also looking at my shelf. I've got a lot of stuff up there. So I'm
Yeah.
got a lot.
What is it?
Like,
And Viz just has like kept the market for so long. Another good example is Vagabond. Vagabond was produced through Kodansha in Japan, but they didn't have any form of company here in the US, so they had to go through Viz. And now they're separate. So like one of their biggest series probably that they ever produced, Vagabond, goes under the Viz license here in the States. So like
I
they
believe
just
there's
don't have
a.
companies.
I think there's a few other series that in the U.S. it goes under Viz as well, if I remember correctly. I don't remember exactly what series, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of them, but it's just like, bro, you really lost out on your whole market. And it was so sad because they were hyping it up for so long, like on their Twitter, like every day they'd be posting something.
Blah blah
Like,
blah.
look,
Today's
look,
tell
look.
K-manga. Yeah, it pisses me off that they they put such an effort into their marketing and the payoff is terrible. Like,
Yeah, it's just a real big shame. Hopefully they'll try to fix it. I think that I'm praying that Kodansha is smart enough to actually like take a look at the situation that they've created and try to fix it with like a subscription service. And then like there's an option for like ads. Like I don't know, you have to like watch 2 ads to read a chapter. I feel like that's fair.
That is fair,
Maybe
yeah.
or like build up coins by watching ads and doing other things if you wanted a free version. But if you really just wanted to skip it, like Pruden, you at least talked to me about it earlier this week. You would have paid $10 even
yeah,
just for the
I would pay the
subscription.
level for like Disney Plus or like a video streaming service for K-manga. I would have paid, I think, maybe maximum of maybe a little higher. $10 I think is, in my eyes, still reasonable. And yeah, it's just, I joke, I'm a business major. I'm money hungry, if you want to say. But like, this is a new low for me. Like, Kodansha being this money grubby, it goes back to piracy. It's gonna hurt it's also going to hurt the mangaka writing these series. Like, and I hate to say that, like, this is making me want to go and pirate Vinland Saga even more, to kind of boycott or go, because I've been excited to read. I've been putting off reading Blue Lock, to read it on K-manga so I can read it officially and support the mangaka. I don't know their name, but it pisses me off that now I want to go pirate these series, and it's gonna promote more people to pirate. We like to say, if you can, do not pirate, because it's gonna hurt the mangaka and it's gonna bring down how much they make. That's gonna bring down the quality of their series and even potentially get them canceled, or not get them canceled, but their series canceled. So just it's gonna be a whole like domino effect if Kodansha doesn't realize what they've done. Like, as we were talking, I was looking on the App Store. Currently, K-manga has been review bombed to a 1.2. Also, who's the little?
I didn't even see the reviews.
Who's that little fucker that gave it a 5-star? I am pissed. Every review, are asking, hey, just make a subscription. Like what I said, I'll pay $10 a month for this. And that'll even out how much you think you want to make with this. It's disappointing.
I wouldn't even want to do that. Like, it would be really annoying if they said it like that, because then that gives Viz the room to also raise the price like that.
Viz, we love you. Don't listen to our podcast. Don't listen to what I just said about upping the price. No, do not. But like, we earlier when the podcast first started, Nick and I always joked, it's like, hey, Kodansha, if you're making a service, sponsor us and we can be your like show front of it. I don't. It makes me not want to associate with anything Kodansha related anymore. Like on my main shelf, I don't have anything. I'm making sure. No, I have. No, I do a Vinland Sagas through Kodansha. So I have one Kodansha series on my main shelf, and I love Vinland Saga, but it is also making me want to take that off my shelf, even though it's like it's my favorite series of all time. I'm like, I don't want to associate with a company that thinks that way, I guess.
I'm just reading so much more of these reviews, and like the tops of them are like app is completely screwed up. Viz and Shonen plus are better.
The UI is also, I will admit, the UI is also terrible.
It's cluttered. It looks horrible.
There's Viz and Shonen Jump. Their apps are perfect, in my opinion, for an app.
Again, worse than the competitor. Disappointing. Piracy is a serious problem. And what is it? What's the name? And the service has many. Like,
yeah,
it's just a disappointment.
The website right now is just an error code, like an HTML error code for a missing XML file. Like it ain't even working right now.
That's even hilarious. Y'all had one job, Kodansha. Just why? Well, it's an app, and I guess it's free. Doesn't make it a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Disappointed. Excited, but to only be disappointed. It's so sad. Really is even just one of the names of the reviews. So yeah, no, it was just a big thing going on in the manga industry, and it's a disappointment.
Yeah. What's that one phrase? It's like, oh, I'm disappointed and my day has been ruined or something. No, my love for manga and anime shit has been ruined because of you, Kodansha.
They really lost out on it. Like the whole I'm sure that they're reading all these reviews, at least in the US, and are like, crap, we messed up horribly.
Put out an apology, and if you want to be able to compete with Viz, make a subscription. Like, give us a subscription to, like, we don't need ads. Yeah, you'll think you're not making as much money, but you will. I think they can make it. They can go up in profit-wise, but it's gonna be hard. This is definitely going to be a stain on Kodansha's what would be a stain on them as a company that's probably going to stick with them for as long as they're around.
Or until they update it. I think that if they just do that, it would even help them out so much more. So yeah, I'm just trying to look through their Twitter even, and they're just like not even mentioning that at all.
No, they haven't said anything. On the day of K-manga, I was following along, and Twitter, I only go on Twitter to see the leaks and stuff, but like it's just sad to see that. Like a recent one, they were posting something about Blue Lock, and like there's just every comment is something negative, which I hate saying. I hate seeing and being negative. I hate negativity in the world now, but it's just hard to see a company that I've somewhat liked in the past.
You had hope for.
I had hope. My one, like Nick had Tears of the Kingdom was his one hope in humanity, and mine was K-manga. And I don't know what I can do anymore. Like maybe Jedi Survivor helped that for a little bit, but like it's not good right now. My outlook on humanity, I try to think I have no enemies. I try to think Thorfinn is literally me, but like, dude, no, I can't think that way right now. I'm becoming
Oscalog. Compared the 2 reviews for the apps, like, because the Viz manga one just came out, and that one has a 4.8, and the Kodansha one has a 1.3.
Yeah,
at least from when they posted that. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Max, do you have anything else you want to add?
I mean, from what I can tell, just to go back to a point that you guys said earlier, was that I think what they may have been trying to do is create what is essentially a gacha game, but for reading manga.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, you have that down exactly.
Yeah, I was reading a few articles just now, and they were all comparing it to that, and it's very obvious that now reading that is probably what they were trying to do. They see how profitable those are, and then did not create the slot machine level of dopamine hit that would warrant people spending that much money.
Yeah.
So it's just a kind of, I guess, not necessarily lazy, but for one, not the smartest attempt, but also them just not understanding their market. They just because I'm taking a marketing class right now, and I'm learning about this kind of stuff. They just did not understand who they were trying to market to. And I'm curious because I haven't found anything yet, but I'm curious how it's doing in Japan, or even if it is available in Japan, because that's something that I'm not even sure about.
Yeah. I mean, here, I'll try to look that up too.
Yeah, but
if it's available.
I mean, man, this is another thing that I have that is just a general issue with stuff in the States as well, is the creation of 1,000 streaming services has turned the media landscape into one, a way to further exploit the people who make the stuff, but also create an issue where the stuff that is being made isn't going to be watched because people don't want to pay for a high subscription service. But even if they do, there's no physical access to that media. It's only on streaming services. Like, there's a few, I can't remember specifically what they are, but there's a few shows on streaming services that have never gotten physical releases and have been taken off streaming services, and without piracy, you just can't watch them anymore. There is no legal way for you to access that material, and it's really, really frustrating, because that's the way that things are going to continue. We are going to see things now that we love that we are probably not going to be able to access when we're, I don't know, 60 or 70 trying to show our kids and grandkids. And that is something that's really frustrating.
That's just a big issue with like preservation itself, and with companies. Like, that was like a big issue even a month ago, or 2 months ago, with the, what is it? This is going back to like video game stuff, but like the Nintendo eShop for like the 3DS and the Wii U got closed off, and it's really hard to find resells of those games and everything. So there's been a, like, right after that, like, piracy skyrocketed for these games because there's no way to fully access them. There's no way to buy them. There's no way to like get any form of it through the original publishers, through the system that they knew before. So like, it's just a really big issue with preservation that, I don't know, companies need to figure out. They need to find a way to fix that. So yeah.
This is gonna continue to be an issue, and I really hope that, man, I wish and hope so badly that this kind of trend will shift and change, and we'll actually be able to support the people, the amazing people who are able to make this kind of stuff, because right now it's man, it's not going so well. Anyway, I guess we should probably move on to our main topic for the day.
Yeah.
No, that was our main topic. We're not talking about JJK.
Honestly,
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening. No, just
that
kidding.
was really good in itself.
Yeah.
But we should definitely talk about JJK because this was also a huge chapter talking about something that's a little bit more positive, but not
positive.
Really because people are so
Someone's about to die.
Listen. It's positive because we finally got a new chapter. We waited 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
The other thing is that people have also been complaining about this chapter, which we can also get into. But yeah, let's talk about chapter 222 because it's really big. It's like this is the chapter that's setting up this is the chapter before the final arc. I think that we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it goes literally for every perspective. It points out that Sukuna has his own objective, Kenjaku has his own objective, and what our main force at Jujutsu High is figuring out. I think it's really nice to see, because Sukuna points out that Gojo has the last finger because he hid it away because he didn't ever want to kill Yuji. He's just like, I'm gonna figure out my own plan. It's gone. There's that. There's Kenjaku.
Well, him gonna eat his
goddamn NES.
I was gonna say like Sukuna maybe gonna eat his mummified body.
Oh, I think that he definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to see compared to his fingers what sort of power amp that will give him. But yeah, Kenjaku kind of. Dude, that panel of him with just the street light is so good. It's so simple but so good.
He's on the middle of a road. He just hooked up a bunch of wires to an old CRT and an NES, and he's just sitting there and it's just like, how many people died?
Oh, I was gonna say Sorry, Nick, you keep going.
Oh no, it's funny that it's just like, how many people died? And then it's just like, do you think that they were scared to die? And then the Kogan is like, no. Bro, they kind of knew it. They kind of accepted their fate. And he goes on this really weird monologue that I don't really care for.
I was gonna say, dude, he's just playing all the Zelda games in prep for the new one, whatever it's called. Is it Tears of the Kingdom? Yeah, he's just getting prepped. He's just a massive nerd.
He is a nerd.
But yeah, dude, and then we got what is his name, Ino.
Yeah, Ino's back. I was very surprised about that they focused on him.
Well, even though it's just a panel, there is a focus on him for a second, which is gonna be cool, because he would have been cool if he didn't go up against a reincarnated Toji.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he probably would have. He is a first grade sorcerer. I think at this point, especially because the only thing that was stopping him was Nanami, and now that he's dead. Maybe he's gone off the wall, because I've never seen Ino look this mad.
Maybe this is that was his, Nanami dying is his power amp. This man is going to be what would it be, semi-grade or supreme grade? I'd probably just grade 1, but
special grade or something, I don't know.
Dude, that would be sick, because his technique could be really cool, it's really creative.
I'd love to see a domain expansion with his 3 different abilities, because he has the summoning spirits, just summon all 3 of them.
Yeah, but they don't take over his body, they just manifest in the world or something. Would be kind of cool. Yeah, no, and then kind of a little talk between, I guess, the 3 trio of the original, not original, but back when Gojo was in high school, the 3 surviving ones left.
Yeah, Ichiji, Shoko, and him. And they're kind of the main planners now. What is it? Utahime and Gaku Ganji are out of the picture.
They're in at the end, but they're kind of maybe doing Kyoto's bidding. Maybe they're not.
Yeah, I think that they're just all together at this point because it's a world crisis. We also get Mei Mei again.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, I was so hyped about that.
Sports betting, JJK sports betting, dude. This is gonna be like an MMA fight. This is gonna be sick.
I love that she set up I'm getting billions of dollars off of this pay-per-view.
Yeah,
let's go.
It's gonna be interesting to see, because this is the biggest fight. I mean, this could be the biggest showdown in not just JJK the manga, but in universe. This could be the biggest showdown of sorcerers ever.
I feel like Gege's playing at how hyped everyone is about it with Mei's character.
If
Just
May's
like
involved, even if it's
y'all
for
are so
money,
hyped for
yeah.
this fight that that I'd be getting billions of dollars if this was a pay-per-view. Like everyone's so hyped for it. Um, so yeah. Um, and then we get into the next really big thing, which is one of the things that I had in my notes.
Yes, if it's what I think it
Yuji's
is.
curse technique.
Yeah, dude, like he could be switching with he could switch bodies with people.
I think that this is very much that he switched bodies with Kusakabe.
Yeah, because he's like Yuji says mastered already, Yuji. And I think
Yeah. Well, like
all the scans I saw said
that,
okay though instead of Osu or whatever.
That's the thing is that Osu is like his catchphrase in Japan for when they like translate over. So he says that a lot. So like that's why they made that that's why they made Kusakabe say that. It's like because that's what Yuji says all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because like I read this before it got translated and like damn, Itadori really is like a special grade. Like oh wait no, Kusakabe is actually still folding him.
Yeah.
He's just learning right now.
Because also my thing is to learn maybe because Kusakabe, I don't know if he is, but I'm just gonna call him for the sake of this video or this episode a master of new shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, so Yuji could learn this and maybe simple domains or whatever to transfer him into the body of someone else that already knows it. Could give him that edge to not maybe he's already developed his curse technique. Fingers crossed. I'm knocking on whatever wood's around me, but maybe this is how they could give him this is how Yuji oh fuck, I gotta think before I say not an exact like copycat technique like Yuta's, but more so a kind of just
it's just a better version of Kenjaku's.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Perfect. It's better. It's a better version of Kenny's
because it plays into his bloodline and everything. I think that he will have mastery of it. I think that that's what everyone was pointing out, that this is probably in relation to what Yuki's book was that Choso gave him. So like, what is it? We didn't even cover the fact that this jumps to This jumps to the 24th.
It's like the day of the fight.
Yeah, so it's been a month of Yuji training and most likely learning his curse technique and mastering it.
Which also, like, mastering it in, like, what, you said, like, 20 days? That's also insane. I mean, they have shown that Yuji can learn how to use curse.
He's a prodigy when it comes to controlling curse energy.
But also, this is, like, still, like, it probably took, I mean, almost every other character in this series, a year, if not more, to somewhat understand and start the process of mastering their own technique. So, Yuji, this just proves even more that Yuji is that guy.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy to see, yeah.
Dries, what are you thinking so far?
Yeah, I think with Yuji's curse technique maybe just being body swap, I very much think it's going to get to the point where in some kind of final battle, there's going to be this coming together of the big three of Gojo, Sukuna, and Kenjaku, where they're all like Gojo and Sukuna are gonna be beating the shit out of each other. Kenjaku's gonna sneak in somehow and he's gonna start his plan, and then it's gonna have to be this point of do we see change in Gojo? Is Gojo going to willingly just kill Yuji after he body swaps with Sukuna again? It's gonna be something like that, where there's gonna be some kind of sacrifice of a character for the sake of the greater good. And it's going to be the question of whether or not the character that has the ability, which is probably going to be Gojo, to do that. Because if in that situation, the stakes that I see potentially being there is either has Gojo changed enough to recognize other people around? Like, has he become human enough to understand the implications of him murdering another person, or is he still the essentially cold-blooded murderer that he technically is, and is he just going to immediately eviscerate Yuji once that Sukuna's full form has been released technically?
I think that he will have the guts to do that. So what is it? This leads on to like some other things, because there's like a big theory going around currently that Yuji and Gojo have already switched bodies. So it's Yuji fighting in Gojo's body.
Oh.
Which I think is a possibility. I'm not 100% sure on it. But I like the alleyway that you're thinking, because what is it? If we jump to page, what is it, 15? Like, of course, Gojo has like, he's got that Toji stare of just the like, I'm focused. Like, he doesn't seem like his normal self until Yuji is like, dude, I'm trying to give you a pat on the back, turn off your curse technique. So I could see that as like a funny way of like, they are trying to deceive people, fuck with people, do whatever the hell that they need to. So yeah, it's very interesting that theory is going around. But the other thing that I thought of is that Yuji is just gonna switch bodies with Megami, and will switch bodies with Sukuna specifically, so that Megami has control of his body back, and then suppress himself, and then Megami could also fight Sukuna.
Right. That's also
I think that would be fun to see.
Because then if Yuji's technique is swapping can't talk today. Soul swapping, that would explain, I mean, at the beginning of the series why he swapped with Sukuna, I guess snapping just like that. But no, this shit's gonna be fun to see, dude. Like, cause something I also was thinking was somewhat, with Kenjaku talking to like Sukuna and Utarame or whatever their name is, like on the building, with them talking, it seems like no matter how the fight goes, Kenjaku is still gonna be on the winning. Like, he's not siding with whoever wins, but he's still on the winning side no matter who wins.
Yeah, when he was talking about like, I'm free to do as I please.
Like, if Gojo wins, Sukuna's out of my hair, and they bought me enough time to go forward with my plan. If Gojo loses, Gojo is out of the picture, and his students are going to be too busy trying to abandon him, and I'll have even more time to go forward and do even more prep if I need. I like how he even mentioned Yuta, my boy. He's like, even Okotsu will be too busy. So, but it'll be interesting to see, what.
Because I'm taking a completely different angle on that. I think that Kenjaku isn't. I think that he is betting too much on Sukuna being a problem, and that I think that Yuta is gonna try to kill Kenjaku. I definitely think that's gonna happen, and I think he's either gonna team up with Hikari or with Maki, and whoever is left as a remainder is going to kill Utahime.
Yeah.
So like, it's either Hikari versus Utahime or Maki versus Utahime.
I would love to see Maki fight Utahime for that rematch, because
that's her name, right? I hope so.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
The Ice Lady.
Yeah, the
Ice Lady.
It's called the Ice Lady. But it would be cool to see. I think if Maki does end up fighting her, that would be really cool. I guess they didn't really have a fight, but rematch. But
yeah.
Also, I'd love to just see Hikari interact with more, I guess, villains, and just kind of.
Yeah. We also don't know where Kashimo is.
Yeah, where is Kashimo at this point? Like, is he gonna just come out of nowhere? Is he gonna come out of nowhere and then attack? Because we did see him in the last, for one panel, 1 or 2 chapters ago. I forget. Right? Did we see him? I'm not talking out my ass.
He was with the rest of the group. Okay. He was with the rest of the group. He's not at the end of the chapter with everyone else, with Choso and Mei Mei and everyone, and Kusakabe and Takaba. So like he went on his own. He probably went on his own and just decided, I'm gonna fight Sukuna. Maybe he's already dead. He could have just jumped the gun and just like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna go fight him.
Man got off screen, which would suck to see, cause
I would be so pissed off.
Cause it'd be, I want to see him fight. I want to see this technique, but like, I think if he did get off screen, it'd be a great way of showing like actually how powerful Sukuna is. Like, hey, this guy who is an ancient sorcerer who was confident in doing something to me did nothing. Like he couldn't do anything. So I'm like, I would be a
little disappointed with that. I honestly want to see Kashimo like actually make Sukuna scared.
Well, that's what I want to see Kashima do something because they've been hyping him up. But
I want it to be like a Maharaga moment where like Sukuna's like excited, but he's like, this dude would have killed me if I weren't in this certain condition.
Man just watches and he's like, oh, I was fucked. Like, shit. Man.
Also, so happy that they put that like Kenjaku puts Maki and Hikari on that threat table, like with Yuta. Of course, Yuta's above them still. But like I love that those three are like the scariest to look out for after Gojo.
Yep.
It makes me so happy, especially like with Maki, because Maki was always considered just like the weakest out of everyone at Jujutsu High.
But now she's
of course
up
Nobara
there.
died.
Yeah.
And then she went up.
But
so yeah, that just makes me so happy.
No, I'm excited to see where we go. Also, I know, Nick, you love Toji. Did you have a little freak out when you realized Gojo has the Toji fit on?
I'm disappointed is my best way to put it, because Gojo can't even compare to my man. Like he does got that good physique, I'll admit it, but it's still nowhere close. Nowhere close. Yeah. And some people were pointing out like, hey, I'm gonna dress up like Megami's dad. Like, hey, yo, look. That's what your dad dressed up as.
Yeah. Double dad. You could say he's got quote unquote two dads. But
he do got two dads.
Also, I love at the end, like everyone's like smiling and happy, and Kusakabe's just like, man, fuck this shit.
Blindfolded idiot.
Like he's like, dude, this is why I love Kusakabe. He's the most real character in the series, because he's just like, I'm just chasing that bag, like I don't want to die.
I'm so happy to see Choso too.
Yeah, dude, they didn't kill Choso.
Angel's in that little corner just smiling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you also see? It looks like Higuruma's there as well.
Yeah, Higuruma's there too.
Yeah, right next to Shoko and behind Takaba. Also, Takaba, he's like, I don't know if he's saying.
Let me know if you need help.
Dude, that would be such a good duo fight. Takaba and Gojo versus Sukuna. You know, I want to see Takaba versus Kenjaku.
That would be so
I want that to be the final fight.
That would actually be a really fun mix-up too. Oh my god.
Like he's like Kenjaku's using Geto's technique and like throws out some giant thing. He's like, dude, it'd be really funny if that thing was like a little stuffed plushie. It just turns into one. He's like, what? What are you doing? Like, it'd be so much fun to have something like that be a final fight.
So yeah.
Also, we got Baby Panda still.
I know.
He's still gonna be useless. So.
The other thing that I want to talk about mainly with this chapter is that a big part of the community is really mad that we just jumped straight to the 24th and we didn't get any other things. Like, people are mad that they didn't get Gojo meeting with everyone and how that situation went. Like, they wanted more time with the characters, and they're saying that the series feels rushed because Gege just wants to end it. Now, I think that that's fair a little bit. I think that Gege is planning on ending it this year, or like within the next 2 years, because whenever mangakas say that they're going to end it by the end of this year, that never happens. Like, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that I think somebody pointed out that this is going to be like another like Choso Yuki situation where they just jump straight to the fight, and then there's going to be a bunch of flashbacks to them prepping the fight, and like flashbacks of like most likely like Yuji learning his curse technique and the plan to get Megami back.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are really mad about that. I think that this is really good pacing. After like reading it and not just seeing the stupid leaks, like the stupid small leaks where you only get bit by bit, and like, man, this does feel rushed. This right here is just a good chapter. It's really helped set up everything for the final arc. Because there's a bunch of mystery. We still have so many questions that we're waiting to get answered, and it's going to be answered in the last arc. So I think that's what Gege was looking to do, and I think that they're accomplishing it very well.
Yeah, I think honestly, in my opinion, I think doing that flashback kind of storytelling is always better than, well, it's not necessarily better, it's just different. I like it for JJK mostly because this way people will want to stay more engaged with the story, I think. If they did the full like training arc stuff, I think people would kind of disengage from the series a little bit, especially after having a 2-week hiatus. Where it's like, oh, we waited this long all for nothing to like realistically happen. And that's technically true with the chapter, but because it is essentially the hype chapter, it's going to make it so that people want to continue reading. Having those flashbacks will make it so that we still get the story that we want, but we're also staying engaged with the story, which I think is incredibly important here, because it's not like this is just a full release book. This is people getting chapter by chapter, and you do have to keep people engaged chapter by chapter. So
yeah. I mean, a good example of that was like the Utah's fight versus the other people in Sendai. Like they did like the 3-way domain expansion because they wanted to hype people up for the next chapter, and then the next chapter is like, oh yeah, you actually didn't see that. The barriers broke apart, and they're just back to normal fighting. It's just a way to keep people engaged. But I think that this is better with the flashbacks. Well, we're assuming that it's going to be flashbacks. We don't know, but
right,
yeah,
they could just completely ignore it, and I would be a little disappointed. But hey, fight scene,
yeah,
this is going to show that Gojo's technique and Six Eyes actually scales based on the power of friendship, and him remembering his flashbacks of all the good times he had with Shoko and Geto in high school, and training training Yuji and Megumin powers him enough to barely beat Sukuna, but at what cost, as his friends are gone.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. It's gonna be cool. But no, it'll be interesting to see. Also, I love the panel of like Gojo like walking down the stairs with like, I guess, like a classic traditional kimono or whatever on. God, like seriously looks, and then Yuji's like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "Yuji, my boy."
Turn off your curse technique.
Yeah,
I'm here to hype you up.
I still love that he is around like his students and I guess like his friends. He's that comfortable turning off his technique because we saw at the beginning of the series him doing it. Yeah. So like he could get like Yuji would hug him and stuff, but I like that he's that comfortable around them.
I also love that the other three are like super tense seeing Gojo. Like, shit, things are about to hit the fan. We got to prepare. And then Yuji's just like, we got this. Bro, it's Gojo.
I think it is like that moral support that the rest of I think, they all, a lot of these people have seen Sukuna fight. I know maybe not all of them, but a lot of them have seen Sukuna in action when he destroyed half of Shibuya. So a lot of them might be a little freaked out, but I think maybe sure. Yuji going, "Hey, dude, you got it," was kind of that moral, that little thing to push him over the edge of actually being able to do this.
Yeah. I like the confidence.
Also, Yuslami was still there, so I don't know where.
Huh?
Yuslami was still part of the series. She's in there for she's like a little in one of the panels, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. But no, this was a great chapter. I really enjoyed it. It's gonna be very interesting to see. I maybe would like some Sukuna and Gojo to have like a little back and forth before they actually start fighting, or maybe even Kenjaku and Gojo having some back and forth. But or because bringing Yuta into this again. Yuta said he's gonna kill Kenjaku, maybe everyone goes to kind of watch the fight before Kenjaku like goes off, and Yuta's like, hey dude, I'm still gonna kill you or something. Like we still need, I don't know. I'm talking out my ass and coming up with ideas, but
no, I think that that's really what the plan is going to be. I think that that's Yuta's big thing. He's going to do that. Another good idea is that Yuji switches bodies with Kenjaku and then Suguru comes back out. How funny would that be?
Oh.
And it just completely destroys Kenjaku's plans because like Kenjaku's just in his son's body. Like, I can't do it anymore.
He's
I can't
in a
do
prison.
the merger.
Yeah, he can't switch. Like,
yeah,
that could be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah. So we just with the body swap, there's so many different things. I think, what is it? It makes me so happy because like it's the technique that gives Yuji like that special grade. Like it's all but confirmed that he has the body switch.
Yeah.
So
we just need it in writing.
It makes me so happy because he's on the same level as Kenjaku now, which just makes me so happy. He is a special grade, whether people want to say it or not. It makes me so happy. So yeah.
Man, I'm so hyped. Ah.
Me too.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Well, what is it? I should ask Drees, what do you think is going to happen next chapter? Because I'm assuming, Prudent, that's what you wanted, is that next chapter is going to be a little bit of a back and forth before the fight.
I would like one chapter where there's no fight. I mean, there's been no fighting for like 2 or 3 chapters, but maybe one more chapter of no fighting, but we kind of not a physical battle, but a verbal or mental battle between I guess our good and evil side. But yeah, Drees, what are you thinking?
I agree with you. I'd like to see the setup for this big showdown. I don't want to see the fight quite yet. Mostly because I want to see if anybody's altering the battlefield, like where are they gonna fight, who's gonna be in the direct vicinity, are people gonna interfere, what kind of stuff is gonna be going on, and also something that I'm just curious about, mostly like Utahime and the old fuck, I think is Gakukanji. Yeah. I'm really curious what kind of a role they're gonna play, because they haven't really been present. But the thing is that they still want to kill Yuji. So are they going to be there to ensure that he dies, or are they going to be the one? Like, is there going to be a case of Gojo hesitating to end up killing you? I'm talking about future chapters now, but like, is that going to be like a hesitation with him and then they're going to step in or something? I don't know. I'm just curious what their role is going to play. Mostly the old fuck, just because he's kind of been this generally pain in the ass character, and I like the way
he's
that
the character for the higher ups. He's
exactly
the excuse for the higher ups.
Right. His stubbornness is that driving factor. So I'm just really curious, all the characters that are left, what the dynamic is going to be. It's just going to be so interesting to see how that plays out. And I guess just to tie it back, yes, Max, I want a setup chapter really badly. I want to know the stakes. I want to know the setting. I want to know how everyone's set up with all this. I need to know why this fight is important in the moment. I already know why it's important in general, like with the broader story, but why? What are the smaller stakes? What are the things that could potentially be lost on both sides with this upcoming fight?
It's true. I personally think that Yuji's execution is now fully off the table because he's not the vessel of Sukuna.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that could still change with Yuji, with the body swap.
With him realizing if his technique is body swap and his mentality of him being the one to kill Sukuna, it could really swap it. Yeah, it could really change shit up.
I'm so curious. I'm hyped.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be really good.
But also, oh, sorry, Nick, you keep going.
You're all good. I just think I want the next chapter to be Gojo and Sukuna. They meet in Shinjuku. The next thing, you see a building just fall.
Yeah.
That's it. Just like crazy. Anyways,
I like there's something I was just thinking of that, so like that like mentality of both of our two combatants going into this fight. Both of them at the end of the chapter have a smile on their face, but if you think, to me at least, they're two completely different smiles. Gojo's is, and also if you notice, Gojo's surrounded by friends, people that support him. So they say Gojo Satoru is Gojo Satoru when he's alone, but he's also happy. You can see he's actually happy. He's got like the little, I guess, like blush lines under his eyes. And Sukuna has this grin. He's still smiling, but this like, I guess, twisted smile. There's no one, there's probably the ice chick and Kenjaku around him, but like no one he's ever considered really a friend. Kind of just pawns in his own.
Yeah, like a servant and then a guy that he has to make a deal with.
But his smile is twisted. It's more kind of almost like a grimace a little bit, but like he's
it's a smirk.
Yeah, they're both confident
behind it.
Yeah, this could be like the light and dark fight going off of Star Wars, since that's what I've been consuming a lot of that media recently. But this is like the dark side versus the light side fight that happens in like every series, and kind of seeing where that goes. But just they're I'd really like to get like one, even if it's one panel each in the next chapter, of each of their mental states going into this fight. Because Gojo basically raised Megumi, and it is Sukuna, but that is still basically Megumi's face, like on his body. How is Gojo's feeling confident right now around other people, but what if that Gojo Satoru is himself when he's alone doesn't work because he's basically trying to somewhat kill his son?
Yeah, I think that definitely is a big thing that's gonna affect Gojo. And I could even see Sukuna pulling the same shit that he did with like Angel, where like it's just like, help me,
exactly,
sort of stuff. To try to like fake it out, and like make Gojo drop his guard, but I don't know.
But this isn't gonna be
a big thing.
This isn't gonna be like Toji, against. This isn't gonna be like the Toji and young Gojo fight, because also he could drop his guard, but also Gojo technically can have infinite void going at all times.
Yeah.
But I'd also really like to see how Sukuna is going to his plan to get through infinite void.
Break it. I think it's definitely Maharaga.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the only way that I can see him doing it. But yeah, I think this is like a very special fight. This is like everyone has said, like this is the big hype fight that we needed to see.
This has been in the making.
Actually, don't know the outcome.
This has been in the making since chapter 1. For what? JJK's been out for almost 5 years. This has been in the making since the start of the series, and it's gonna be very cool to see.
And we don't know what the outcome is. Like, we could assume an outcome for each of them. Like, the only one that was a little tough, I think that everyone could admit, was the Hikari Kashima one. Because the man lost his liver and barely got it back. But, like, with Yuki and Kenjaku, we always Kenjaku was probably going to win at the end. We just didn't know at what cost. Like, we didn't know if Yuki was going to survive, or we all thought that Choso was also going to be dead. And he's still alive. But, like, we kind of knew the outcome. This one, we have no clue where we're going from here. It's like a Chainsaw Man chapter. Like, where do we go? What's happening next? So, yeah.
Guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think this is...
Yeah, we will.
This is a perfect place to end it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. thank you so much for, I believe this is 28, episode 28 of listening to Jumpcast. We really appreciate each and every one of you that listens. Remember, if you have any, you could say y'all are fucking wrong and comment that or tweet at us and let us know, because we'd love to hear what your thoughts on this upcoming fight.
We'd love to hear other people's. Yeah, we'd love to hear what people have to think about this chapter.
Alright. So yeah. Have a good Mother's Day.
Go hug your mom. Go hug your mom.
Go hug your mom.
Go hug your mom. Tell her you love her. And get her some flowers or something.